You want to play the video that was there?
Woke up this morning, troubles on my mind. Feels like I'm falling behind. Worked hard all week, but the money's all gone. Can't catch a break, feeling like I don't belong. Life here can break you or make you. Ain't got enough pesos, only got too much time. Living on hope in these tough times, struggling to make it, but I'm gonna climb. Ain't got enough pesos, only got too much time, but I will be fine. I'm Filipino, don't you know? Got mouths to feed, and a roof that leaks. Keeps raining, every day's a battle. Feels like I'm up the creek, but I won't give in. Won't let life bring me down. Gonna keep on fighting till I turn it all around. Ain't got enough pesos, only got too much time. Living on hope in these tough times, struggling to make it, but I'm gonna climb. Ain't got enough pesos, only got too much time, but I will be fine. I'm Filipino, don't you know? Through the darkest nights and the longest days, I keep pushing forward, finding my own ways. Though the road is rough and the journey's long, no storm, no man gonna keep me down. Ain't got enough pesos, only got too much time. Living on hope in these tough times, struggling to make it, but I'm gonna climb. Ain't got enough pesos, only got too much time, but I will be fine. I'm Filipino.
What's up? Good morning, guys. How's it doing?
Getting drowned in the storm there, Ricky? How'd you survive?
Unfortunately for you.
Mm.
Yeah. Wait. Whoa. This is the real boss's mug. Wait. What?
You've been demoted. If you don't get your act together, I'm gonna tell you what.
What? What?
Wait till
Hi.
wait till your new mug comes in.
What?
It's got different strokes on it. It's a
Different
different.
stroke.
Yes.
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, it's got your Gary Coleman on there.
What you
So
talking about, Willis?
this deal. Why does it feel like the house is so full of humidity today? All right. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey guys, just real quick again. Heidi mentioned it. It's not just me. And that's just George either. A lot of Filipinos are saying, "Why is it so hot lately?"
Because I'm here. It's because you're here.
No, it's a real thing.
No, it's still at this time of the year it should be cooling down, and even when the temperatures have been dropping, I think it's been somewhere in the 80 part, and that's in the morning. Humidity just seems really high right now, but it could just be all the rain and everything. So.
But see, the thing is with Filipinos, when you say something like that, like the first thing they would say is, again, this is something that people say. At least it's not summer. If you have to think about that, they always look at the good side.
Yeah, they do. They really do. Today we are going to recap our week. Of course, that's what we usually do on Saturdays. And you guys know we've been bringing the characters in. So every few weeks or every other week, or it'd be one of my characters, and where we have Rachel come in. And of course, we got old Ricky here to maybe put some new perspective on what's going on here. So I'm going to And we will cover the recap of the missing expat and actually, so where is he situation, because um, one of the newspapers that came from the newspaper stated that they didn't feel, the government no longer felt that it was, they're not, their wording has switched from kidnapping to something else, and I'll have to find that article, guys. But that's something we've been saying the whole time. This right here, if you can bring this up. Okay, guys, the storm has been quite devastating for the Philippines. Let me pause that here. 1 second. Okay, so a total of 3,857 passengers, 872 rolling cargoes, 49 vessels, 24 motor. What do you call that? Barcas? How do you say that? Barcas?
It just means boat.
Okay. Have been stranded at the port. So what I wanted to say is that there's a lot of people stranded at the ports, and that was as of 12 o'clock this morning or 12 a.m. They were. What'd you lose there? Man, it's a little. What'd you? Oh, okay. It's like, what's he looking for? He's down there under the table. There's a lot of people that are actually stranded. The storm. Prayers for all the families that are out there. Right now, the count is supposedly around 46, and 14 of them were actually in that landslide. Thousands remain stranded at the port. 529 of them are tourists. And don't go back. When the 529 are stranded, they're even in areas like Boracay and everything. So there's, but also, of course, there are road closures. Get down, kitty. I'm gonna get one of those little cute little cat cages for these kittens because the two kittens have been at each other. So a lot going on. A lot of footage has been coming out of the Filipinos, and the devastation, loss, flooding has been substantial. Of course, this is the part where it's showing like the mud that's inside the cars. So, unlike Florida and some of these other places that have these major storms in the U.S., hey, what's that? Pause that. Who did that? No, never mind. You missed it. What was up with that? So, anyways, a lot of damage, guys. A lot of damage. And our hearts and prayers do go out to the families. It's most definitely devastating. Can you help me here? She's going to unplug the entire I can't reach her from. Shoot. Wow. Okay. So fighting the cats here. So.
Yeah. When there's a tropical depression on the way, try if you're having any trips or anything like that, be prepared to cancel it. I mean,
your hair. I'm trying to reach your hair. So I mean,
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna go on a boat, be prepared to cancel it. That kind of stuff, because again, if there's a tropical depression, they're gonna ground the boats. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, you're fighting with locals that are trying to get to their home islands most of the time. Like, because usually when tropical depressions come, they're trying to get home. So you'll be fighting that too.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember, yeah, whenever there's a tropical depression like nearby within 3 days, be prepared to cancel your trip. Just saying, okay? Be smarter, okay? Now remember, the locals, same thing. They try to do that too, but remember, Filipinos are always hopeful. They always hope for the best, that kind of deal.
Pretty resilient.
Correct.
That's what the song was kind of based on. And here we didn't lose power. I mean, we had some issues with the internet, but it was kind of stalling out. And we had like some flickers, but we, no flooding, no water, no nothing here in our area. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, the internet thing, it's mostly because they canceled school. That's one thing you guys have to be ready for. If there's no school, odds are your internet's going to go down at one point in time. It's just a given because again, no school, kids are all at home. They overload you know, the lines, so to speak.
And so most of the week, which has been our last couple live streams, three of them have been in regards to the missing expat. The American is still missing. Our previous live stream, we had received footage, like many, and many had discussed that it could possibly be him. For me, it looked like it was him, so it looks like I'll be doubling down on some balut and durian. Okay. And but in reality, the mystery goes on, and this was covered by thousands, and I mean thousands of vloggers. This was covered all over TikTok, Facebook. People made content on top of content. It's really, like they were covering all this different situation, and it's even more of a mystery. The latest, like everybody, when there's nothing, they're going to keep on. Like, so now the newspapers and other sources are starting to release. So where is he? What's going on? Nobody's asking for a ransom, and it has kind of gone on. So what we did is George, or Ricky here, does have the footage of them explaining that it was not the American, and we are very grateful that it is not the American. But we did say that in the last live stream, whether I said 99.9%, because a lot of people thought that. It just wasn't me. Come on. And it just wasn't the others that covered it. There was a lot of similarities. That was really eerie. There's no whatever. It didn't take a genius or a whatever to put that together, that it did look a lot like him. Regardless if I said he was Snow White and all that, I got the maceration, we got that, but everything was actually there. But it's not him, but it is somebody's child. And we said that. This isn't a race to who can get the most information. Newspapers, the television station, the vloggers, that's not what this is about. It's content for everybody. It's newspapers for everybody. Nothing's changed in the last, how long they've been doing like news? 200 years? Like where they're print, probably even longer than that, printing newspapers. A while, guys. So it is not him, but it is somebody's kid, and this is very sad. It is very tragic, and he is still missing. So the amount of information out there is quite a bit. It's not like we're sitting here covering every single thing that's being put out, or there'd be a lot more information we would be talking about. There's a lot of insinuations. Okay. And I will talk about what some of them insinuations are. We did mention previous, for those that are catching up, that she talked and said that she was pregnant. They tell me I'm pregnant. Okay, is that a possibility? Who knows? Until there's a pregnancy test, nobody knows. Okay. Also, it is being said on her sister's webpage and some others, they're saying that she was engaged to the gentleman that might have been upset over this whole situation, and that it was a Islamic promised marriage. Okay, all kinds of stuff is out there. People saying, hey, you need to confess. We're not going to sit around and dwell on that and go through every single comment that's there. It is what it is, and it is. And so it's not him. So where is he? And I did see somebody say, okay, no sources. This was just reading through some comments. And I don't have it. They said that a couple of the other people that were taken in that area throughout the years, they said it was weeks before they actually got a ransom request. So, and at some point during the week, we said that we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to be right. Who cares? And I mean that in every sense. Who cares who's first? Who cares? Whatever. And it is the truth. It could be weeks. Okay. It's whatever, speculation, guessing, discussing. We've said this, and I guess I have to make it clear for everybody. This is a live stream, as we've done over the years, and this is a discussion. This is another topic. This is our wrap up of the week, and nobody has the facts except the police, and more information would be her family. And if you guys don't understand that, and then I guess there's more problems to worry about. It's the same as You know, you think the newspapers have everything right. I was giving Ricky here a scenario that when they've said an airplane exploded in midair, and they said it was because of, a fusel, law or something went wrong with the props or something, and then you guys find out down the road that it was because a woman dropped her lipstick case down in the toilet, got flushed out, and hit the whatever, and it was she caused it. You think CNN and Fox is going to say, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, I was a liar"? That's not how it's going down, and that's not what you guys are going to get today. We had about all of 3 people that made that demand, and the best I'm going to do is eat that durian for saying it was 99.9, and there were thousands that were saying it. So it's, it's just where it is. So the information we'll go through, and I will give credit to Rike. That's where we seen it. We were out yesterday, and when we got back, we had a few messages, and Rike Beyond the Sea has been covering this along with other vloggers, and he came into our feed, and there it was. He said that it was not, and he provided the footage that is in Tagalog, and he was not found. And we'll go through that. We'll let you guys see that, because that way you guys can, we're just putting you guys up to date with any information that we have. So, yes, that's where we are on that, guys.
No, I don't think so.
Can you guys hear us okay? If
I
you
think
guys
so, because Mike says crazy, because otherwise I won't have said anything. Yeah, and Angelo too, because again, otherwise I wouldn't have mentioned that.
A lot of people thought it was him, and we
Yeah.
get it because everything was pointing towards it, and it's
All right. So here's the official report.
Kinilala sa alias na Tolex at Asrap ang pagkakakilanlan na natagpuan na bangkay na palutang-lutang sa dagat.
Okay. They said the body that was found floating at sea is known as Tolex. That's what they said.
Sa bahagi ng Poblasyon 2, Parang Maguindanao del Norte.
Poblacion 2, Farang del Norte.
Ito ang kumpirmasyon mula sa hepe ng Parang Municipal Police, Police Major Blaine Lumas E.
Okay. Some of you know, again, Jefe means chief. That's what the chief reported.
So yung pangalan po nung natagpuang bangkay is accordingly doon sa mga binigay na detalye po ng mga kaibigan.
Okay. Now, what's interesting is what he said. Okay. He says the body, the name is according to reports of the witnesses who basically saying that according to the people, this is who this gentleman is. So what I'm saying is this
no
is
DNA.
this is not coming from him. He says according to the people. Guys, I'm just translating here. Okay.
Tanang sa pagtatanong-tanong natin ay si alias lang actually yung pagkaalam nila si Tolex Asrap.
Now, see, and then there's another thing. He says alias Tolex Asrap. So, again, I'm just translating for you guys. He says, according to the people, not him, not forensics, according to the people, it's Tolex Asrap. And he didn't even say, oh, this is definitely Tolex Asrap. No, he says, according to the people, this is alias Tolex
Correct.
Asrap.
Even the actual news can actually say things, and probably the same as here. And until there's a full DNA, then, because I read somewhere else, not that it is true, never said that we were the end all of all. Several pages through Reddit and other places. There's like 1,000,001 places to read stuff. They said that the FBI had taken a DNA from that body, but I'm like, yeah, that's a little much to actually expect. But again, even news agencies,
Yeah, that the
are
reason why that's interesting to note that what Heidi says. Keep in mind the news is saying it as a fact, but the chief is saying it as, by the way, he's not saying it might be,
or
but
he's been
he
identified.
says according to the people. That's what he said. And again, I'm just translating, guys. I'm just translating.
Which,
And
remember, there was severe damage.
right,
We
and
had
yeah, and the name isn't even sure.
and we had mentioned, and there was another person that mentioned, and Sarah had said something about, we knew there was a bunch of clan fighting and people after each other there. As a matter of fact, nobody mentioned that they also found a woman in that area. They found a half woman. Of course, that wasn't him. That's who I thought was being, when I seen Enrique's information, I said, is that half woman they found? Maybe he didn't have it right. And then when they went further, with seeing the rest of the article, it's like, oh, it wasn't a woman. So we did at some point in the last 2 days or last two live streams say, we understand that it, could have been the guy out of the boat, could have been anybody, but even the article, the broadcast is saying that. So, yep, until somebody said it could be as easy as his wife identifying. It could be as easy as, that would be pretty rough if that's the way old Ricky over here looked. If they that'd have been a little hard. I guess they would have recognized the pants, I guess. But so much stuff out there. But yeah, go ahead. I'll get it.
Tolex po yung palayaw niya. Nasarap yung apelyido. So actually, yung bangkay ko na yan, na inireport ko una sa amin kahapon, bandang mga 11:30 po.
They said it was the body was reported, of course, according to the police chief. It was reported yesterday. Well, it wasn't yesterday, of course, obviously. But it was reported the day before.
Na may palutang-lutang na bangkay dito po sa bandang Miramar, dito po sa Condemnation dito po sa Parang. So, nakuha yung bangkay na yun. Then later on, parang na-inform din ata, siguro kasi siyempre yung kamag-anak, may mga kontasye dahil sa nangyaring incident doon sa Bungo, may mga missing na tao pa kasi. So, siguro nakarating doon sa pamilya ng mga nawawalang tao na may natagpuang bangkay dito sa Parang at pinuntan nila at nakilala ko yung mismong asawa ang na si Munaira Asraf ang
Okay, so basically he says that it took a while to identify. The reason being is they couldn't find family. Well, he says there's no family, but that's not what he meant. He's basically saying they can't find a family member until eventually the alleged body was identified by the wife.
So the wife said it was him.
Yes.
kilala ko doon sa bangkay na yon.
Okay po.
Sa pamagitan ng mga physical appearance, syempre features, at saka yung suit niya mismo na short pants po. Kasi naka-shorts lang yung na suit lang nung...
He says she identified him via the shorts and the features, the basic features.
Bangkay na yan eh. So yun po, pagkatapos noon, dinala po nila yung bangkay doon sa Sultan Kudarat. Doon po nila dinala at
they took the body to Sultan Kudarat. That's a place in that area.
nilubing.
Dagdag ng otoridad,
At saka additionally pala, ang isa pa na information na aming nakalap dyan is yung bangkay na yun ni Tolex Asrap is accordingly isa siya sa mga closing security at saka driver ni Commander Paradise ng...
Okay, it's interesting to know that you heard her start to talk again, and then he said, "Oh, by the way," he says, "Oh, by the way, the alleged body actually was the driver of Captain Paradise." here, when you're a leader of a group, they always give you the name captain, like Kapitan. So it's like Kapitan Paradise, um, that kind of stuff. Like for example, if you guys can Google it, Kapitan Bala is one more famous captains, or as you call it. I believe the Russian mafia use the same system, where if you're a leader of your little group, you have the title of captain.
Araw ng Biyernes, October 18, nang magsagawa ng Maritime Security Patrol ang Philippine Marines sa karagatan ng Bongo Island kasunod ng sagupaan sa pagitan ng dalawang nag-aaway na pamilya sa lugar.
So that's what they said. Is the 18th is when they did a patrol in that maritime area because there was a clan war going on.
Ayon sa report ng Western Mindanao Command, nakaengkwentro ng mga sundalo ang hindi matukoy na bilang ng mga armado sakay ng 12 motorized bangka.
According to reports of the Philippine, military, they didn't state if it was Navy, it probably was Navy, that they encountered 12 boats armed to the teeth, according to the reports.
7 ang inulat ng West Mincon na nasawi sa bakbakan at
7 got unalive during the encounter.
4 sa mga ito ang nalunod base sa report.
And then 4 of them drowned. So 7 did not survive the encounter, and then 4 of them drowned.
Tuloy pa ang paghahanap ng otoridad sa iba pang inulat na nasawi at nalunod sa dagat.
So that's it, guys. That's the full report of what's attached to that mortal coil, as it were. So now, again, remember, this is not the forensics team that identified the said body. It was actually the wife. But the reason why I'm saying this, because remember, it tells you something that even the news actually doesn't say those things. They say it like as a matter of factly, even though they're not even confirmed yet.
And I'm going to bring Ruby up because she's making good points, and we've been making this point. She said the discussion in the chat is just personal views or assessments and nothing official. And we've been saying that, and that is correct. Okay. Everybody's got their opinion right now. Everybody's been making an assessment. Okay. So something more came up. It's just actually where it is. And I would agree. That's everybody. Everybody is covering it. And it definitely actually makes sense. So I would agree with you. And I want to say a quick hello to our moderators, Ted, Scott, to our members, 4&D, Scott in the World is in here. We got Ruby in here. Pablo is in the house. I believe Sarah is in here somewhere. We said Sarah, Tona Manning is in here. Salute, John. We have not seen you in a while. Hey, Victor C, real quick. Clifford Smallwood is actually in the house. Jeep Man is in here. But we will, and welcome to the channel. And he says, Fornoy D. And there was somebody else that had made a good statement before we start going through there. But yes, there's a lot going on. Oh, somebody said something about, oh yeah, Reddit is a good place for information, and that's fine. We've been reading things everywhere. We never said any of our stuff was based on that. And even if we read the comments on there, that's up to everybody else to decide whether it is or it isn't. So there's a lot of places this information's coming from. And you don't think that they don't scan that stuff when it comes to the government? I mean, do they not go through Facebook accounts and all that when they're looking for clues and doing all the, Sure they do. Yeah, you're going to still see it. But...
No, where I'm going through. I always scan through the comments.
Yeah. So go through the comments here. Let's see, what else was it? I'll try to find the actual article from the newspaper where they're saying officially now. I don't think you're going to hear the word. You're not going to hear kidnapped anymore in the papers. They're calling. I'll have to pull up the latest, but yeah, they've moved from saying it was that. But I don't know, guys. I'll say the last time. Who knows? Maybe I should just always say who knows.
Right?
It's
MB says, hello, Philippine Antics Squad. Hey, MB. How's it
good
going?
morning.
Good morning. Ted says the worst thing to someone who has a missing child is when you stop talking about them anymore. They become a cold case.
Correct. Correct. Talking about it is, that, I mean, it is true. And it that is true. That's all I gotta say is it's so true.
Yeah.
But
And you can't beg people to talk about them to get it going. There you go.
I know what I'm seeing over and over again in the comment sections. We've had it in our comment section and a few emails stating, why isn't she saying more? I'm assuming her family's keeping her quiet. That could be them telling her to be quiet. But when people have gone missing or something like that happens, the family is screeching at the top of their lungs. So I get it and don't get it. So
Yeah. Now, keep in mind also that, again, it's a matter of perspective. And what I mean by that is, for instance, what Ted says is when people stop talking, it means people don't care. So the fact that everybody, and not
That
just Philippine Antics,
or that you're on people's lips.
most vloggers, both in the US and here, in different parts of the Philippines, most of these vloggers are talking about this gentleman, which means they care.
Yeah. When you talk about somebody, usually you care enough. So that's
Correct.
The
moment that everything just gets hushed and nobody talks about it anymore, then that's when, again, like, Ted says, then that's something. For instance, when that Cebu incident that happened, again, we were contacted directly by the sister because when she contacted us, it was actually starting to die down at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it means like there's no information anymore.
And nothing else has come up.
Correct.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Looks like he's going to do his life and probably won't hear any more about the case. I did find the article, and this is the one that I read during our last live. It says Eastman case, not kidnapping, said a government executive. So it said the case of the American national Elliot Eastman is not a case of kidnapping for ransom. And it says, we do not know if it was due to a family feud or a personal grudge. And it just goes on from there. They believe it wasn't a kidnapping. Eastman, 26, who was married to a Filipino, was seized by the four guys from Cebuco, and they have offered the ransom. We had mentioned that. Here's something that blew my mind. It's just my personal opinion. My jaw dropped, and it doesn't matter who's offering it or what, and it's not the same. But the amount of that was offered for the American. There was a guy, a total different case. I'm just telling you the amount and difference is. They're offering 10 million pesos for a Chinese guy that went in and shot a store owner. So it was just something in, like, both of them were in the article of the newspaper, and it was, I seen 10 million, and then I seen that. Again, doesn't really have anything. It's two separate situations. I'm aware of it. And I was like, okay. But there's a few where they're offering, there's quite a few that they actually are currently offering for information. Right.
Pornoy says, I hope Heidi has her balut and durian ready.
I had that for breakfast.
She actually had a dozen of. No. Actually, for those of you who are not familiar, durian and balut, they need to be purchased right before you eat them. I mean,
Yeah,
you can probably keep durian somewhat fresh in the fridge, but balut definitely not. You have to buy
I
that.
didn't say.
You have to buy balut right before you eat it.
Listen, I didn't say how I was going to eat it either. Like I just found some durian candy. Like literally, it's like freeze dried. There's a company over in
No, well, no, there's actually durian candy.
yeah, there's a
You
yeah,
don't have to eat the freeze dried stuff.
correct. So I didn't say.
Yeah.
Maybe I could find some barbecued balut.
Now, durian candy, all it is of course, it's just grounded up, durian with, that's freeze dried essentially, and then it has like some sugar, well, a lot of sugar, but it's
Yeah.
still durian. Smile and be happy. Thumbs up. Sarah Tyson, hello, Heidi and George, keeping dry. Well,
Yeah.
I hope George is keeping dry. He's out there right now. Sarah Tyson, hello, roomies. Sarah Tyson says he hopefully has been extracted and finished his debriefing by now.
Yeah.
We would hope so.
Mhm.
We would hope so. Scott World says, hello, roomies and Ted. Hey, Foreignoy D signed up. New member. Thank you so much, Foreignoy, for being a member. For those who are not members, please sign up and at least please subscribe.
Next time, I'm gonna braid your hair back.
And also, again, don't be afraid to contribute to George's funeral fund so he can be stuffed and vlog from beyond the grave.
I'm gonna have you stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
That would be very sus having two people taxidermied in your living room.
You and those cats.
Smile and be happy. Dang, Israel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a topic I won't. That's beyond politics. We could sit around and talk about Trump and Kamala all day long over that. That is such a messed up situation going on. Our hearts go out to all sides. Just like, I mean, it is so true. But yeah, that's crazy what's going on there. So
Well, it's beyond politics because it involves religion too.
well, I'm just saying a lot of people will get upset when we discuss one or the other and not supporting the same with that. They're just people everywhere. And it's just like I keep hearing the thing about specifically about Muslims and specifically about the area, and there's nothing wrong with that area. And it's not a problem like all the messages about Muslims. It's about there are a few bad people that this happened to. Like if something happened in New York or something happened in California, you can't look at every Californian that's in the room and be like, oh, wonder if he's gonna snap me or something. Who knows?
Right.
But yeah, so it's the same there. It's
George says hi all. Jeepman says hello, Heidi and George and Rumi. John says hello from Chile. Smile Happy says USA country music song intro today. Fornoy says good morning, Heidi and George. Heidi. No, that's different. This is stock up. The other one is ready.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I know it's similar, but it's not.
Let me tell you something. Okay. Let me tell you something. The durian has a D and it has the letter R and it could be stinky with a Y on the end, and the balut has a shell, and to the power, to the side, to the B, to the E, maybe I'll eat it and at the end of the day, and just to be will be about me. Maybe.
To D is not to be. Anyway.
I told George I was gonna try to do a Kamala Harris situation when someone asked me about the balut. I'll be totally, what is it, avoidant. So some things when she, like I said, don't care much for either side, not on one side or the other. It's just whatever's comical. And like, on Saturday Night Live, they always show she's super avoidant. So I told George, I'm like, I'm just going to do the what is as what shall be. And maybe I will do that in about 78 days. And maybe the 8 sounds better. So I'll do it on the 8th day.
Hi, Lunas. Clifford Smallwood says,
Hey,
"Hi
Lunas.
guys, caught you live again. Please say hi to Luna."
Hey, Lunas. Good morning, Lunas. Hi, Lunas.
Yeah, Smile and Behavior says, "Hi Luna."
Did I even say they're even calling it? Yeah, it would have to be an abduction at this point. And that is one thing that it's being called. So it's kind of like at this point, you know, if channels have been saying that it's been a kidnapping and that he was taken, and there's a lot more speculation versus that body, is that it was definitely the militants. It's definitely them. It's a matter of, it had nothing to do with the family and this, and that's another thing. When that comes up that it wasn't, it was just a boyfriend or something, an inside job, or just a guy up the street that didn't like him, or another expat, then it's going to be, so then is a 500,000 other channels wrong? No. This is all just a group discussion. It's all good as long as he comes home safe or that he's actually found, either way. So nobody really, you know, wanted him, that to be him. It would have gave closure to his family for sure. And I asked George, if it was our kids, would we want to know it and see it that way? And you guys are going to deny it. I would. I would want to know, regardless whether it was or it wasn't. Um, and the embassy did call me back, and I still stand by me calling the embassy the other day, and they said that they were checking into it. So, and somebody called me back to talk to me. So, I would want to know. Anything was a possibility at that point, no matter what. It was still within a few 100 miles. There was too many similarities, and they weren't aware. And it doesn't matter what had happened there. I'd want to know. So
Right now, what the interesting thing about what happened is, again, now this
I
part of
mean, would you guys
speculation.
want to know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, now this part is speculation, but remember, there's a good probability there's some truth to this one. Now, what I'm getting at is the four gentlemen, not necessarily four, probably just two. I'm not sure if, again, this is speculation, that grabbed Eastman may or may not have been part of that radical group, because where did the hardware come from?
Oh, that you said
You don't just get
grab.
right. They grabbed Eastman.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
I was like, the Elliot Eastman. Okay, they grabbed him. Okay.
Right. The ones that grabbed Eastman, again, where did they get the hardware? That's the question. Because military grade hardware, again, it's possible these are replicas that they're dealing with. We don't know.
And what do you think they're more apt to have? Food and other things in their house,
Well,
or a weapon
Well, the thing is,
to
then
protect their family?
an Armalite, again, these are actually kind of standard for the military with both sides.
So, okay.
So what I'm saying is, it's possible whoever grabbed them was a former member of one or the other.
Yeah, somebody said it might be possible it was even somebody within the system, but who
And
knows?
but remember too that, again, that if one of my men decide to go against my orders or did something without my knowledge, I would disavow him.
Oh, yeah.
For example, if this guy
Yes, they
was
can,
actually
bro.
tied to a military faction, I would say, nope, don't know the guy.
Yeah. There's a lot of speculation, no matter where it's from. That's,
Lunch on me. Take
Hey,
out.
you
Lurking
dirty
for
puppy.
over a year. Passing, there's an audience of viewers that are OG. I like that. OG.
Aw, thank you,
Like
dirty
me,
puppy.
who are silent in your Philippine Antics. Thank you so
We
much, you dirty puppy.
appreciate
I
it.
appreciate it so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure George will appreciate it too. So right, that's where we're getting at again. It's possible that whoever was involved, or is involved rather, may have been involved in either faction.
And here's another thing we did say from the beginning, like when this coverage started, even before the body washed ashore, the same with any of the subjects we've covered. We always said, kind of like the Cebu club incident. We said if something new comes up, or like when we got contacted by people inside of the club, we do continue to cover it. I mean, it's a hot topic. Ain't even gonna try to deny that, and that's like anything that goes on anywhere. So it's been a social media thing for a while, and so finding out that he's not, and it's the week's wrap up. It's definitely interesting. Yeah, so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. George says, I'm sorry, but I think the Expat has been deleted.
Oh, yeah, that.
Angel says probably loan sharks got him. Him family's members probably just shot him, possible still alive.
Well, I was gonna say we all could be eating major crow. Every single vlogger and news media, when he just shows up, and it was either a joke, and we said that. That was one of the first few things I said in the first hour or two at the beginning of the week. I said he could just show up, or he could be. I forgot where I read it. They said that it's possible, because they keep saying that it's possible he's not in those other areas, that he's somewhere nearby, and they're saying they're keeping him nearby to put to get him medical attention, and that they still intend to do whatever. But I don't know. We could all be eating some form of crow when he just shows up and there was something totally different, and then what? So.
Victor C. Hi, Heidi and George. Meow. They're actually all over the place.
That doesn't make anybody wrong or right. That is for sure.
Stunt for the clout. There you go. It's possible it's all just a show. We don't know. Hopefully it is, because that would mean he's okay. Oh, Chicano. Hey, Ricky. Victor C. Ricky looking like a musician, maybe? Is that Johnny Depp? Hey, Balut John in the house. Hi.
What is going on?
Oh, Chicano. Yeah, Ricky's a guitar player. I had a lady, she handed me a guitar and she wanted me to sing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It said harp weather modification. What does that mean? The thing that changes the weather?
It's kind of off topic, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Again,
not sure.
that's a disembodied statement. Pablo Chan says Ricky lives in a Volkswagen van. He is a flower child. I always think of like
Down by the river.
I think of sunshine, and I think of Aquarius too. Well, isn't that the same song?
We had somebody, and it was
Aquarius.
like one individual. You gotta understand, when we get some of these statements, it's less than a half a dozen. But when we did the last Ricky video, it was edited and put out. We had one person that came in and says, "I just don't get it. I'm a Filipino and I just don't get." They said that, and they said, "I just don't get it." He says you guys say he's from California, but he doesn't talk like he's from California, and he that outfit just doesn't look like he's from California. So then why they like really tried to break it down, and I just said something back. I said, "You're kind of missing the point." I said, just because somebody's from California, they don't have to act a certain way.
Now here's the thing.
It's just where we said he was. It just the character, and he used to do
Filipinos who don't recognize Ricky, probably not Filipino. Because any Filipino I've met, they say Freddie Aguilar.
Yeah, well, that, and a lot of them dress up in different ways. I mean,
And
characters.
Filipinos will say that's a barong, long hair, hat, Freddie Aguilar.
Yeah,
They
so
get
it's
it.
just it's
If
for
you
fun,
question
just
it,
like when
then
we
I
bring
question
Rachel
your
in.
nationality.
Yeah, so
Because any Filipino I've met, they always love the get up. They don't question it. They're like, and again, a lady handed me a guitar and says, "Sing for us." Point being, Filipinos get it. Fake Filipinos don't. So you're outing yourself out whenever you say stuff like that. Tony says, I
White samurai.
I can admit when I'm wrong. What are the chances that it wasn't him? No, actually,
Right,
yes.
that
The
was
coincidences
really-
are really high, correct.
And that didn't take any brains at all. That was almost a no-brainer. And I get that now that it's Filipino, the first thing George said, he's like, that must have been a really light skinned Filipino. So we get it. We know in that area with the salt in the water and the maceration that yes, it's a possibility of turning white, but that was really snow white. Like other bodies have come up recently, and only one other one was half white with some brown on it. This dude was totally white. So, I mean, all the coincidences didn't make anybody any more knowledgeable than the last one. Educated people and doctors said that doesn't look like a Filipino. So, I mean, it doesn't, we're just happy. I mean, I think a lot of people were relieved that there's still hope. It's kind of like Ocean Gate. I keep coming back to Ocean Gate situation. It's like, George goes, they're soup right now. He said, George usually isn't that quick to, they're soup. Okay, so then at that point when it all went, he said there's soup at this point, and it's just that was kind of obvious. But I know there were a lot of people that put a lot of comments out there. Oh, they've got to be still alive. They're alive. I'm sure they're alive. And of course, you're going to hold out hope. It's like I said, we have kids this guy's age, and it's got to
You
be
can hope. You can always hope.
horrible. Yeah.
See, for example, this tells me Engelbert Salak is Filipino because the first thing he says is "Ka Freddy, lol."
Hey, Mr. LDR is in the house. Hey, guys.
Hey, LDR, how you doing?
Hey.
Pornoy says love too.
Hey, I'm gonna go to the bottom on some of these. White Samurai said, I saw John Wick film, and despite being shot, he survived until the end of the film.
True story.
True story, dude.
And he's over 50.
What a hell of an actor there.
A great actor. Actually did most of his films for free. Yes, pretty much, yes. Did he convert to Muslim? I know to Islam. Yes, he converted to Islam, correct. And yeah. To our knowledge, and according to the reports, he did convert.
Mike Valdez. I'm going to read his statement. He said, too many gaps in the story. First, the boat. It was hard to push a boat into the deep water, especially with people in it, because they said that they did push it. There are a lot of good facts out there. They said that they pushed it on out, and if there was that many guys in there, including him, the kid was not 130 pounds. He wasn't tiny. And so he said that how was the boat pushed out to the deeper water with people, and then as far as the hardware goes, what they said he had would have been officer issue.
Well, that's the
Over in that
thing. There's a
area.
lot of stories that we can't confirm because
That's other, yeah, but that, yeah, I mean,
now the
that
boat
would make sense.
the boat
on
can be explained if we actually researched it, but
like when the tide came in,
correct.
tide
Depends
went
on the tide,
out,
yes.
and
Tide
yeah,
in,
there's
tide
always
out, yes.
Yeah, there's always an explanation. But I was wondering if they were able to purchase those from other areas, or if that really was only given, I mean, I know people can
Well,
sneak
that's why I said
weapons in, but if
now
they were only for officers,
you have to.
then
Yeah, that's what I
maybe it
mean.
was.
If they did actually have these,
Mhm.
weapons. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, in the West, a lot of times they say they're using machine guns. No, they're not. Whenever somebody does a pew pew in the West, they're using machine guns. They're using automatic weapons. No, they're not. Most of the time, they're not. So what I'm saying is most of the reports are kind of iffy. Now remember this: they may not have M16s. They may not have Armalites, because okay, let's analyze this, shall we, real quick. So they have to be identified when they entered the premises, and that's assuming that the person who said something can identify weapons. Okay, I mean, I know some of you, most of the ones in the room can identify those weapons because that's the era of most of the ones here. Some of you are Vietnam vets, and that's the standard issue, and of course you can identify it. But these are civilians in the Philippines. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Sam Sag says they could have alone a blood type to narrow things down.
That is true.
Um,
But still, it still did take a few days just here in the Philippines. So,
correct. Vets Vlog says Kevin from San Antonio, Texas.
hey, that
Um,
vlog, yes.
I love your channel and very glad that that was not that man. Praying that we find him regardless of current condition.
Hey, Vet Vlogs, I've seen somebody else. Let me know if that's you. Are you the one on TikTok that's the Kevin and somebody else? There's a Filipina. There's somebody I've been seeing because we have a presence on TikTok, and I seen some live streams in the last week, and I could swore there was somebody named Kevin, but there's a lot of probably Kevins, but Kevin is fairly an unusual name. So, I mean, not unusual, but here, how many Kevins have you seen? Like that is that we
No, it's not a very common
no,
name.
so it was Kevin and God, I wish I did. But the name of the channel was not. But is that you?
Yeah,
So,
now if you
yeah,
said
I've seen-
Mike, then I would say which one.
Mike,
Papa Smurf, the OG.
hey.
Terrible what happened to him. I believe his wife was involved too. I don't believe he is also no longer alive. He should have kept his mouth shut and not brag about what he asked for money. Now, Papa Smurf saying is he did mention in one of his vlogs distinctively and clearly stated he says 35K. You know what I'm saying? He did say that. So what I'm saying is if he had 35K on hand on ready to give out to somebody right away, he
It's
probably
about
has more.
almost 700 US, 650.
You know what I'm
7,
saying?
yeah.
If he had it in the house. Because
Yeah.
that's where he does his business. That's another thing. Don't do your business in the house.
I said don't shit where you eat, don't eat where you shit.
Correct.
Although every now and then I like to have a piece of toast on the toilet.
Right. Now the Sar store I get, but
He really stocked that up and he was bragging and showing, but I think a lot of people are now saying that that area is pretty, on the most part, religious. And it could have been that they just didn't like him doing the loans, but he's like, hey, listen, this is where I'm getting my money. It's all a possibility. The same within the interview, which is in public view of Facebook. When he did that thing back and forth, talk about how I met my wife, he told her she needed to do TikTok. She needed to. Remember, I was telling you about that. You're going to make money that's where you're going to make your money. You need to do more videos, and you need to this. Maybe that's when she started unveiling, because it seemed like I told you guys in the beginning she was. I know when she goes swimming, she takes it off, but the Muslim women I seen kept something on their head. They got something to keep on their hair when they're swimming. But it just seemed like I was seeing less and less covering. I'm telling you, there are men in Islam that will
they
get
do make
very upset.
the headwear swimwear,
Mhm.
but
Sorry, they would have. And it seemed like her family is. So what if, I'm telling you, in my opinion, that loan and what he was saying to her all the time, and there's something going on aside, but never know. Like I said, when he just pops up and it was, because he really was going on how he really wanted that channel to grow and he really needed that money. So he was always, and a lot of people are saying they watched his videos in all different places, his shorts, and there's a lot of them that he was offending people all the time and some of the things he said, and it's just how people interpret things. So there's so many possibilities. But the fact that the one government statement is now stating that it's not a kidnapping. It's only one newspaper and one official that said it, but we're not talking about like LGUs. No, they're saying it came from the presidential. Just read it. So something's up. And we kind of said we were getting that vibe. Others had said, and they're even leaving comments on her Facebook, his wife, saying, why aren't you saying anything to people? And they don't have to justify. She doesn't have to come on and answer every single person, nothing in that. But I'd have had George's posters all over the place. I don't care. I'd have been out there beating the path. And we don't know everything that she's done either. So we can't say for sure what she's done. But not the first to question, But now that all these questions are coming up, it makes people think, like, well, I wonder. We get there's reasons to be quiet. And then, I mean, if it was an example, my sister, your sister, my brother, my brother, your brother, we would definitely be out there. I don't think the government would say, "Hey, you need to be quiet till this is over." I don't think so.
Right. Now, there's certain reports I do question. Keyword reports, not necessarily, again, we didn't come up with this. These are not speculation. These are other reports that other people made that they gave pursuit. And that one I question from the get-go because for several reasons. One, if said men are armed, not a lot of people go in pursuit.
Yeah,
Two,
especially that.
if they did go in pursuit, how can they not have caught up with them? Especially they're probably literally dragging the gentleman over to the boat. And then if they were 4 men plus Eastman, that boat would have been burdened versus most, pursuit boats or whatever. They probably would have caught up with them. Point being is that report I question a lot because it just doesn't make sense.
Speaking of the lowest of low, this has to be the lowest thing that I've seen yet. Everybody, welcome to the room. Elliot Eastman is in the room. Somebody created an account
Too
to call
soon.
themselves. Yeah,
Too soon.
right. It's kind of like
Too soon, buddy.
Diddy thing when people were breaking out. That baby oil stuff went out like within hours. And now that they know that kids are involved and all that, they're still producing a bunch of them. And it's, yeah, too soon.
Yeah, that's too soon.
And yeah.
I mean, if you really are him, then
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, sorry, I was looking for that gentleman, so I have to go back.
Yeah. Well, you can't see a time frame. Yeah, it's down at 10 o'clock exactly. So
Yeah, Vetsblog says, I'm glad you're keeping his name out there. Don't give up. Looking, and I wish there was more media coverage. Correct.
Well, for the every dozen naysayers there is, we have hundreds and hundreds of positive, and that's okay with us. It really is. We really enjoy what we're doing. So we really do, and some say we help, some say we don't, and we have a lot of fun doing it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
This one.
Right. What I'm saying is when we do the characters, I was going to say when I do that, we have overall fun doing the channel, just not.
Vetsblog says, I love this channel. Don't forget to like everyone. I'm glad you made this video letting us know that wasn't him. And also, again, we actually brought up that video to give you the narrative that's actually now attached to it versus just knowing there's
saying that it was out there somewhere. And I still will give props to a few vloggers that have been doing really excellent coverage. One would be Tim K, and the other is going to be Rike. And that is, guys, calm down. What is it? Life by the Sea is what's his channel? Yeah, I think it just used
Life Beyond the Sea.
Life Beyond the Sea. And again, it's some people like the channel, some people don't, some people like ours, some people don't. It doesn't actually matter. It's the point that they've been doing good coverage and they've had good outlook on it, and I still think they've been doing a good job. It's just, it is what it is. Credit is due where it's actually due. It doesn't matter, it isn't a race. They've been doing really good, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, Silsey says hello. Glad to see you again from Toronto, Canada.
Hey. Yeah, probably there, Joe. He said he was last seen on a hog farm.
Hopefully, and again, hopefully it's all. I've said that from the get go, or we've said it from the get go. Hopefully it's all just a hoax, because that would mean he's okay.
I'm concerned now with the photos we had finally seen. That is definitely a lot of, hopefully they did keep him nearby and that he really did end up at a clinic. That's all we can hope, is that he's just sitting there, wanting to eat some more of those noodles and candy. And he drank a lot of the energy drink. What is the red one?
Oh, dang.
Sting,
yes.
Oh, he was popping one after the other like it was Pepsi, and I was like, slow down, boy, slow down. Every time I seen him, he was and they were tossing and drinking, tossing, and I thought he was drinking beers at some point, and it was Sting. He was
Yeah.
drinking at nighttime, and so it's.
I
like,
actually drink
maybe,
Sting more than Cobra, only because most of the time people have Sting, not Cobra.
She's growing up. The kitten that had the injured foot. We knew she was older than she had looked. She was just a preemie. She's now looking to be 5-6 months old. She's bigger than the previous kitten we had, so she's getting really big. So
Yeah, Sam Sag says the government's trying to downplay this for tourism.
we said they may not say anything. That this may be, we even figured with the body found, if it was a possibility, it was him, that they might, that they would just keep that on the down low, and it could be weeks. But it's a new day, people. Yeah, they were offering $500,000 peso for the location. I didn't know it was up to 500,000. I thought it was.
Yeah, they raised it, but I didn't know how much they raised it
okay.
for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Manning, and everybody says it's safe there. Well, I wouldn't say everybody. Again, there's certain locations that I wouldn't recommend.
Yeah. Yeah, I went over there. What Ruby said. Yeah, it's assessments and a conversation and talk, and that's what these live streams are about.
Yeah, Digital Global Investor says for the most part it's safe. There are more kidnappings in the USA every year than this is fact.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
true.
we said that. That was the very first thing that I said when the very first coverage we did. There's more in Arizona, and somewhere around 58 to 60,000 actually go missing, and that they're the kidnappings. But they said I think Arizona was known for the most of actually kidnapping. So yes, it happens.
Yeah. Now Victor C says obviously this is done in humor or lightheartedness. He could be sending hostage messages in Chinese fortune cookies. Again, remember, they can take, whether you're a foreigner or Filipino, they do tend to take certain people and then abduct them and force them into work. Again, this is a real thing. Yeah.
And yes, this channel is still up. I just seen someone further down. Yes, of course, it's substantially. He was at that point when it first happened. I think he was under 1,000, and so I don't know where he's at, 4,000 or 5,000 right now. So it's and the same with his views. He went from 50, 60, 70 views, and some have 20 and 30,000 views. So his numbers have really jumped up.
Tony Manning, I don't think they took him out for beers.
Hey, but anything's a possibility. Hey, dude, we're gonna sit here and drink. They're gonna do, what is that, like?
Hangover.
No, yeah, there you go. Or like the macho thing, maybe like in Mexico when he says, "You think you man enough to take that woman from me?" Maybe he sat him down and made him do a tandawai week, man, and they're gonna drop his butt off back, sloshed. Anything's a possibility. I like to believe they're just sitting there drinking up tequila and tandawai.
Well, gin's more popular.
Okay. Well, there it is. So, hey, anything's possible, Tony.
Yeah. Now, for those of you wondering why I made that statement.
I'm going to, but I'm
the white chicken out.
Yeah.
Eat some balut.
Oh, I'm going to. I am. I said I was going to wait till we hit 30,000 subscribers. I will. But here's the thing. I will, if I get it like, oh, man. Am I allowed to put like barbecue sauce or ketchup or something in it?
No, salt is better.
You sure?
Yes.
I thought vinegar was okay.
Kind of difficult.
I thought I seen more vinegar in it.
Yeah, but I guess if you want to mask the flavor.
What?
It actually tastes good. Don't get me wrong. It tastes good. Well, it tastes good. If you didn't know what it was and somebody served it to you, it's actually pretty good.
You're making me.
Now, the only catch is with balut, again, is the fuzz, because, chicks have fuzz instead of feathers.
I'm about to say something inappropriate.
They get stuck in your teeth. That's the only thing.
Ricky, I'm about to say something inappropriate. Maybe I should.
You probably shouldn't. Yeah.
If I have to say it's going to be inappropriate, it's
Now,
inappropriate.
now the bones, because it does have bones. Now, some of you have eaten fish that you can eat the bones.
Oh, okay.
That's what it.
Does it matter how much I cook them? Can I cook them all the way?
They're already cooked.
All the way.
They're cooked all the way. What do
I
you
thought
mean?
there's like this sauce.
They're
or
boiling.
sauce.
They're boiling hot when you buy them from the vendor.
So where's all the soup coming from?
What do you mean?
I thought there was like soup in there.
Yeah. What? I mean, an egg when you crack an egg, it's
Okay.
still soupy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm. Anyway,
Thanks, Tony. That's what I'm gonna
yeah,
do.
Ken K, that's a little rough, so I'm not gonna go that way. But yeah.
But we hear you. A lot of people.
Hey,
have-
Harry Walsh.
Actually, I said that the first time. I said that that's what I said, and George was like, "Hey," and I was like, every move from the beginning, without watching the rest of his videos, the moves he made was unreal. It really, really was. And somebody had verified that yes, he has Starlink. He kept in his videos he kept saying Starlink, and there was a lot actually going on him announcing how much he spent on Starlink and the amount of investment he had and all the traveling he had to do. He was actually announcing when he was coming and going, like leaving, like I'm going back next week. Or there's so many things that he. It's true. It's so true that he made a lot of mistakes.
Harry Walsh in the house, guys. Big hello, Heidi and
Hi.
George, Ted, Scott, and Sarah too. Hope Sal is well all.
Thank you, Ted.
Wow. That's messed up, Sam. Sam Sag says maybe they are him, the other white meat. Hey, Streak. Yes,
Hey,
best
Streak.
case, it's a hoax. Otherwise, yes, correct. Yes, hopefully
if
it
we
is a
keep,
hoax.
If we keep like saying that, which we did say with all that blood, that he's definitely a goner. So then when he comes up live, then it'll be the Antics again, and like okay, So it doesn't matter if that was really him. And I told George this for the 3 or 4 comments we had, it would satisfy those people that left the 3 or 4 comments that if he was that person, then y'all would just find something else. It doesn't matter. You would say something about, you would just find something else, and that's fine because we know you love us. So that's, I mean, if it wouldn't be one thing, it would be the other. Then it would be because we just, it could be anything, guys. Yeah, you see my point.
Yeah, Ruby, you probably just missed George over there. I've had 2 mango shakes.
Aw.
Did you?
I do. Actually, I need to take it out because by the time I think about, I have one here.
From Candy Palace.
Yeah, I do need to get that
Yes.
out. It's just gonna take a while to thaw, and by the time
I've had 2 mango shakes, one for me, one for
See
you.
this?
Note, I did that under sufferance. Yes, she suffered for those mango shakes. Yeah, she suffered waiting for them. That's what it was.
actually, I'm rethinking of going to Candy Palace to meet up with her. I did contact. I'm thinking about it anyways. I'm gonna bite the bullet. Ricky, you can pay for lunch.
What?
I just had mango shake.
Scott World says if he was shot like they would have reported, not sleeping then, and infection has set in, and he's on borrowed time.
Yeah.
Scott World says he's jealous.
What was it that Ted said?
Ted says the body washed ashore wasn't him. It was a feuding family member who got deleted. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. And we're glad that it isn't him. He did. That came from his own mouth. It is true that he said the religion with the Muslim faith, you can have 7 wives. But technically, it's 4. I think it was it the Prophet Muhammad that had 7 wives or whatever the highest amount was, but 4 is what's pretty much the legal and through the religion. But there's things that go along with that. You got to be fair to each one. You got to love each one the same. You got to spend equal time with them. You have to equally spend money on them. And when you break that, then you're still breaking rules in Islam. And there's a lot to it. And so, yeah. But he definitely had to convert. So there's no doubt in my mind he was converted. There was a lot of people that,
Yeah.
had some things on that one.
Brian, he changed religions to get married. He
Yes.
said he converted to Islam, that he thinks he can marry 7 times. Then, yeah. Well, I
He
don't.
said it.
He can't afford one, so. And that's not how Islam works. If you have to be able to care for all of them equally.
In all ways. We're just not talking about if he had all the finances in the world. He's got to spend so much time in one room with one. The next day, he's got to spread his time out. A lot of people think they just throw them all in one bed. Some of them are in different houses. They're not always in the same house. I'm not saying that he has to. It depends on how extravagant you get with the religion. It's kind of like when they do that. What is it they do in Utah? Is it the Mormons or whatever?
Yeah.
That one guy's sister wives or whatever. He at one point had them all in different houses, but for the most part, they all just don't. Everybody thinks it's just all a gathering at nighttime or something, and all sitting around popcorn or something. But it's not. A lot to it.
Yeah. Vets Vlog says Elliot made that video about the park and the beach, how people didn't respect it. They might be why they didn't like him. He also said he would change it with his money, and how the U.S. government should spend more money rebuilding countries like that desperately needed it. He had political views about Ukraine in that video, just not something you should talk about. Now, keep in mind, the problem is when you're a YouTuber, your neighbors will see it. Our neighbors see us. So what I'm getting at is it possible he may have upset the locals? Yes.
There's a lot going on, guys. I'm just not believing it's as innocent as just he stared at somebody wrong one day and then they got him, and that was just it. And I don't think alone that watch it come up, okay, knock on wood situation, but that it's just not as simple as he's an American only, and that was the only problem.
Yeah, Teddy Bear, they found the body? No, the body that was found, again, we covered we put out the video, and again,
we put a community post out. What happened is we all were waiting on information. That we said there were possibilities because there were multiple floating bodies, and there had been some gun fights and everything else, but everything pointed to that it looked like him. Many people covered it. Yesterday, early on in the afternoon, we seen a video from Rike, Life Beyond the Sea, and Tim K did some coverage that it was not him. So thank God it was not him, but still leaves the question, who is it? And so it was not. It turned out to be somebody. We had the video on just at the beginning of this if you want to rewatch it. And George went through and translated what it was. So the wife identified who it was. And that still took a few days to release that. So he is still missing.
Yeah. Not Elliot's wife, to clarify. The other person.
Elliot is still missing.
Correct.
And we put a community post out, and we did put an update inside the videos that we released. I think there were 2 where we discussed that the body was found. A body was found.
Yeah. Vets Vlog says, I pray Elliot's okay, but a lot of things he was saying in his videos, when you could hear him, wasn't positive about the people around him or the way they lived. Correct. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, don't do that. Don't.
I would definitely be double shocked if this was as simple as just.
Yeah, Tony Mang says there's so many possibilities.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes it interesting. And shocking to others. Others are like, wow, this person this person that. And the whole fact is that he was told to stay out of those areas by multiple, like they told him no, the family told him no. Then it went into a whole thing about, a lot of people questioning why the wife wouldn't have him and her leave, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah. Bobby G, how you doing? Bobby G says, It's one hell of a coincidence that that body washed up, no matter what the outcome is. If he's faking it, he'll be in big trouble for
There's
this
a
stunt.
lot of coincidences. There really was. Everything was, the signs were pointing to it. So,
Yeah, it seemed that way, saying in a joking way, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's LDR right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Venus.
Venus. Venus.
Yeah, I don't think it's
No,
Venus.
yeah. Venus says, "Hi guys, I was born and raised here in Zamboanga City. I'm a local. We do not pass through there. When we do land travel, we don't stay. We don't stay. That place is sketchy. We don't take risks."
And I said, although I've never been in that area, never claimed to be in that area, I know better. And I know that if I did, because there are groups of people that we know that went down there, but like the one they showed in the paper was a whole bird watching group. Okay. But they went in a large group and it included expats that, of course, were with them. And so I said that I would think I could go down there for the day, but I wouldn't be staying there overnight. I'd like literally be like that, and then I'd have looking at the beach, and I'd be like, gotta go. I mean, it's not that. I mean, and I'm sure there would have been a bunch of warnings before we even got there. So probably after about the second "don't go," besides George's, I'd have been turned right back around. So that's a no for me going. But yeah, the locals definitely know. If the locals say don't go, then I wouldn't go.
Oh, Clifford. So okay, Clifford Smallwood says, "I'm very often here, but I'm on my Roku. So hard to reply without logging on my phone." No, I got it. So
Gotcha.
he's saying he sits in the background, and he doesn't usually say anything because it is kind of hard to talk if you're talking on a if you're watching on a smart device other than a phone, right?
David Z said I was checking to see if the picture of the abduction of the bedroom was still on Facebook. They couldn't find him, but still found amazing video from February 20th. It's called How We Met Each Other. If you're talking about like that one, and there's one where they sat down talking with each other, that was very revealing. She tried to get him to say what happened. Another newspaper release saying he did get scammed from his first person, and that there was something, and she said that you need to tell the truth about what happened. And then he kind of was passive, and then he finally said, well, that's how it went, and he wouldn't say anything. There was a full discussion about like when they met, how she wanted to go and do things like him. There's a lot going on, so much going on.
Right.
There's a bunch more I would like to say, but we're going to leave a lot of that off the table currently.
Now that's an interesting
sure.
Statement, Patrick. He says most mafia hits or organized crime hits are similar. They left a body there so everyone would see it and who know who did it. They intentionally wanted people to see him so other Americans would say. So basically, what he's saying is, if he encroached in somebody's territory, they would have left the body behind. Which to me, that would make sense. Correct. I'm not saying that's what happened, but that would make sense. Now Mike Valdez says the AK-47 is easy, especially they come from Malaysia. Now the thing is, the reports say it was an M16 though.
At this point, I think they said M16, but
Yeah, but like I said, remember, sometimes people don't misidentify weapons, especially if they're not in that field. So, George says the boat has not been found till now. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
that the
Howdy.
bullet has not been found.
The boat.
Oh, the boat. I thought you said bullet.
No,
No, the
the boat has
not.
not been found yet.
But here's the thing. Remember, and you guys are probably hating on me now for it. It was the family that told the story. They're the ones that said what color the boat was. They're the ones. So here's my question, and this has been said by Filipinos. Do we really believe that the family, knowing whose boat it was, knowing that they were somebody, would they have really said what color the boat was?
Well, the
I'm just saying it's a family
yeah,
that said
there's
they can't find theirs. Maybe, possibly, who knows? I'm going to say what others ain't going to say, and there it is. Would they have said anything? I know for a fact that I wouldn't be. Oh, his?
I don't know.
Well, I'll find out. It's possible. There may be so much going on. The only person that can do that would be a request from his family. It's hard to get channels shut down for. Maybe the government could. I don't know. It's really hard. I know his wife. There's a lot going on to get something shut down.
Joseph D says, as far as the M16 issue is concerned, I was under the impression that police had recovered a shell casing. Well, it, you know, 556. I
No,
mean,
it's there. It's there. You just have to really look
yeah,
for it. Elliot Eastman's channel is up.
yeah. I believe an M16 uses a 556 round, doesn't it? It doesn't use a seven. An AK uses a seven, and then an M16 uses a five.
All right, there was an update 10 hours ago. That's new. So I just found a 10-hour update from a newspaper. All right, so now the PNP, and this is new because the last thing I seen was a day ago. So this is 10 hours ago. So at midnight tonight, it says that the police and military have now expanded their search looking for Elliot outside of the Zamboanga Peninsula, a week after he was kidnapped from Cebuco town. Spokesperson said, it says here, Lieutenant Colonel Helen Galvez, the PRO 9, they call him the 9 Pro, which I now know. Spokesperson said authorities are already in custody of several persons of interest. So then they have some people. We are not ceasing in location the victim and the abductors. For now, we already have the suspects who are providing leads. So they've got people. That is as of midnight. So it's 10 hours. So they have people. They have people, which we knew that the last time. They said that they had some people of interest. And now officially with looking at this, they're saying that so they know where to go. They've got leads. So that's kind of they added the rescue you guys, there's the keyword. Did you just hear what I said? The rescue operation is being conducted in the general area of Zamboanga, the peninsula. We have also crossed borders to places our intelligent units are pointing in the report. Eastman, 26, a native of the U.S. and Vermont, is married to a Filipina. He was shot twice in the leg when he was kidnapped on the 18th. The gunman who posed as anti-narcotic. Oh, that's not good. Who posed as anti-narcotic police from Sito Tungwan Barangay in Poblacion. It says authorities believe that he is alive, as there's no sightings of an abandoned body in the places that they have been searching for. So they've been looking specifically in areas for his body. There it is. All the efforts are being exerted by the police and our counterparts in the armed forces of the Philippines. We believe he is alive. We have no proof that his body was dumped in the places. So somebody must have, maybe they're receiving a ton of reports. That's what it says, in the places. And targeting the places of intelligence that they had provided to us. Let's see. She said security officers have not intercepted any calls either from Eastman or any kidnappers. anti-kidnapping groups personnel are on board in the area to monitor. There is already communication both here in Cebuco or in the U.S. There has been no signal of any contact for any demands. That's pretty much, let's see, there's a lot here. Okay, so there it is. They did raise it to 500,000. So on any information locating the boat. Okay, that was the bottom of it. So there it is. They're still thinking he's alive. So, but here's my concern in reading the first half. If I had to read into anything, they were specifically looking in areas for a dumped body, they said. So
Yeah.
but maybe they don't want to give information about who really does, and they tried to throw him off. I don't know, but there it is. So
Okay. Harry Walsh says, my educated guess, I believe it's a ransom. His family probably contacted, told him to be quiet or else.
yeah, but shouldn't they be able to say something? So you think they've been contacted even with all that statement that he's been kidnapped, and they're just supposed to stay quiet altogether? That's why they're not going to say prayers for him. Initially, the first day, they did say something. I think like one of her brothers and some said pray for him being missing, but nothing else since. So
Yeah. Mr. Joyce
I'm not
says,
saying that he doesn't care. I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's just some silence going on.
I saw something about him loan sharking the poorest of people. If true, my belief it's not a ransom.
So listen.
Just being taught a deadly lesson. But I pray he's found alive and well. There you go. Eminem says, even us Filipinos knew it's dangerous to go there. He was warned about that too, but still he went there. His thoughts, he's different to others and will not happen to him. Sorry to say he's, oh, well.
Yeah. That's a common statement.
That's a common
very
statement,
common.
yes.
A lot of people that's he just a lot going on there. Heidi and George, but you have other income and you don't depend on just YouTube.
No,
income.
YouTube is not. It's just the pizza money, I guess. The best way to explain it.
Best way to say it is our electric bill, because we keep on the big lights and we're always editing on the equipment here. Sometimes we drop the AC because, being fully dressed up and not in just shorts or something. It helps pay the electric bill. It helps. We usually pretty much by the time we pay for the apps, StreamYard, and the rest goes into cat food. We feed a lot of cats outside, and so it goes back into the animals and some people that we help locally. So no, it is not our main source of income. It's actually, there's multiple sources of income in our house. And for that kid, yes, he actually stated it was his only source of income. What he was doing was he goes back and he works the Uber Eats or whatever, the DoorDash. And he said that. He actually was telling people that it was good money. That's what people should do. So he mentioned that in one of his lives.
Now, Bobby G says, I stay in northern Mindanao and have never once felt unsafe or worried about my safety. But when I travel, I'm always on a swivel, car doors locked. Now, see, that's the thing. It's kind of like that's a common problem, and what I mean is, for example, in the West, I know a lot of people who leave their doors unlocked or anything, but it doesn't matter what country you're in. Always keep your doors locked. Always keep your car doors locked. Always play it safe. It doesn't hurt to be extra cautious, But if you're not cautious, then yeah, it'll bite you in the butt. Angela says I mix bullet with rice. That's all I can do.
Okay.
Bullet is good, but fattening.
Okay. Well, I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about, and maybe the ketchup will not make that look good, but maybe I can make it into some sort of tomato soup or something.
Yeah. David Z says it sounds like the first woman he came to meet, he was scammed. Actually, transgender. This was a fascinating video.
There it is. I told you.
She keeps
So,
wanting
okay,
him
so
to tell the whole story.
okay, so we read an article out loud in one of our previous live streams, and that's what I was saying is that they said one of the mayors locally said that he was scammed and that he did have a problem with his first person. And when I listened to her, she said transgender several times. So I didn't hear things when she mentioned there was somebody transgender. And yes, and reading everything throughout the internet, they're like, what happened to the boy's eyebrows? Did they get munched or something? Or is he. There's so many different stories out there, guys. It's unreal. They're thinking he was, and that there's a lot, guys. There's so much that is out there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Engelbert says, "Have a try adobong balut." Well, I personally haven't found anybody who sells adobong balut as a dish. So, and I don't know how to fix it.
That's my biggest concern, but that would be the furthest thing. Maybe after he's found,
Oh well, yeah, I know.
we can't.
Yeah, I would.
There's something, yeah.
Oh dang! Wait, Sam, are you getting it right? Ostrich balut. Wow.
Yeah.
Too many crickets. Wow.
Hey, wait a minute. I never said what balut. Don't they have? Can I get one of those little quail egg balutes? Right? I can balut the quail egg, right?
Wow.
Right?
Not really.
Can I ask somebody?
Well,
to do it?
balut specifically duck eggs. So,
You sure?
Yes.
It's not the way it's cooked. It's not.
No,
sure?
it's balut is duck egg.
Are you 100% positive?
Yes.
Can you bet your life on it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I hope. Don't, George. Don't tell them.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. Wow, I can't even do that. Ted says you should blow a duck call before you eat balut.
I'll just blow. I'll just. I'll just blow you, George.
Yeah, George says he was shot 2 times in the leg.
Yeah. Yeah, I was starting to look for. That's what I was after, was to find out what they said.
Yeah, Angela says, "Peekaboo, I see you." That's what the duck is gonna say when you crack open a balut.
Yeah.
No, really, there's a duck inside those eggs, guys. Again and again, you can. The fur gets stuck on your teeth, and then the bones they crunch. Not joking. Mike Valdez says if he pulls a hoax, he's in a world of FBI, local police, BI, NBR persona non grata.
We already have a person of interest. We are still verifying
Really?
if they
Interesting.
have any connection.
Hair Walsh says there's 4 Kamala fundraising ads with Obama since I'm here tonight. So while he's watching us, they played
Isn't that weird?
those ads.
Yeah, with us. Yeah, here in the Philippines, and it's set for the Philippines. Yeah, they're gonna run.
The irony is, if we say something somewhat political in Google's eyes, they
Underwears.
shut down the ad. They shut down AdSense. It says this is political or something like that.
They
But
did.
anyway.
They did something. They tried to say that. Yeah.
Hey, Joseph Relford says you have to take care of them to afford them. Yes. He's talking about
Yeah. See here in this one, they're not mentioning.
Islamic marriages again. You have to be able to take care of your wives, as it were.
I'm surprised nobody for the cash reward didn't rat.
Yeah, Bobby
somebody
G is
out.
getting them too. Yes, Kamala ads are driving me nuts.
Sorry, guys. We have no
We
setting.
we have.
I think there's a way that you can ask for certain, like if we were doing all salon nails and we were showing off
You can
nails, we're loud, but I don't
veer
know.
towards a certain genre of ads.
I don't know, but
But-
I'm having a hard enough time on
Yeah.
the rest of it without figuring. But I have been through it and tried to see, but I think there's something.
Yeah, Liam says there was a lot
don't-
of blood from the picture in the room, correct?
Yes, we
And
did
yes,
officially
Jose
see it.
Rodriguez, I agree with you. It's bad enough dealing with one girl, correct?
Or somebody would say even Filipina. Could you imagine a bunch of jealous wives?
Diego says even though he say he converted, never showed any pic of his wedding. maybe he didn't even get married, so that
There
could be
were
another
pictures.
reason
That's
for
the
Mus.
one. It
Yeah.
did not show it, but you guys, I don't know if you guys are aware of how quick an Islamic wedding. You see the big weddings, okay? Sometimes there are multiple ceremonies. He only needs to have an imam or them to go to the mosque and sign an agreement for an amount. He said it was 50,000 pesos agreed for the wedding. He says we don't do this in the US. He only needs the imam and her parents and to sit down and say that he's converted. And I said before that he only has to do, and say a few words, which I said before, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, that there's only one God and Muhammad is his prophet, and that he accepts Islam. That's it. And if he says that this is my wife and they go through this whole thing, they're married. I believe strongly, and I could be wrong, that that's how they're actually married is by Islamic law down there, and that would apply. But a good point was made by Brian when he was in here previously. The American laws still apply to him as far as how the marriages would go. So if he needs to go back to the U.S. and take her, there's a lot of additional paperwork, and so
Right. No, religion is yeah, it's not enough when he goes over to the U.S. Correct.
right. And then I won't even get going on the subject of her age, which was mentioned several times, and her birthday cake and all these other things, and which becomes another subject. And that has not all been 100% confirmed. So that's all an alleged on, her age and, paperwork for getting her, as it was discussed, to get her out of the country. Total different thing, and more
Yeah, and for
more
them,
speculation
yeah,
and talk. That's a whole nother subject. And when it comes down to it, the only thing that matters is that he returns. He just opened a whole different can of worms in all directions. So it's what do you call that? A real page turner at this point. If he does return back, what if this, what if that, and it's all eyes are on him. He's just it's crazy. 72 virgins in heaven. That could be what he's doing right now.
yeah.
Probably got unlimited balut and cherry juice going.
Joseph Robert, hey Rick, what's happening, my man? 100 grand.
100
There you
grand.
go. Yeah.
Hey, Chippy Whisk. And yes, 99.9. And so did the world. But we appreciate all your love. We had a few comments stating that, yeah, never said 100%. It looked like him, and a lot of people said it. So I only joined the rank of a bunch of other people. And if it was him, y'all would be talking about something else right now about him. So it wouldn't matter. So, but appreciate your love.
Scott says that, but the body did wash up very far away for across the bay on the other side of the peninsula where he was taken.
There has been multiple bodies. I'm over how many different ones are out there right now. There were several. So we said that the other day, but that sure looked like him. The whole freaking country was talking about him. So just because a few of us in a certain area had covered it, it wasn't the end of. There's several. There are several of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, David Z again. Now, keep in mind, he's talking about Elliot and his current wife, and the reason why I'm bringing this up, by the 5 minutes mark, he told the story of how they met. He's talking, and then there's this awkward silence because no
Right.
one's
No one's
on the line
asked. She goes,
asking questions.
yeah, nobody wants to ask any questions. Yeah. And at 7:46 she started telling him how they met. Yeah, she was pretty, if I had to guess, for the most part, who was wearing the pants in that household, seemed to be she was, the way she was talking. But on the other hand, he has said things to her, like she was asking later on in another thing about a solar powered cooker, and he said no, you know, you can't use it at night. And I discussed this the last time, but there was some discussion in that one about me doing laundry situation. He said something about you playing on your phone, not word for word, but you playing on your phone and whatever. And then he says, then I'm doing laundry like I always am or something. I was telling you about that. And it was like, okay. So I get that, being he's not technically working, that I get it, that he should be helping out and everything, but it's,
Yeah, now keep in mind this was a live, as David Z says. When she
Yeah.
says, "For me, it was love at first sight," is not true.
yes,
He is
she did say
startled.
that. She did say
Yeah,
that.
he's startled and makes her repeat it 3 times. Wait, what did you say?
No, there was some very weird oddness. And so there's, and I get people say, oh, well, it's just got to do with the missing him. Well, even if he's not missing, they would still be talking about this guy right now. Let's just say he was running his YouTube. Eventually, the other expat vloggers and others would start to cover this because there's other situations that's really going on. There's a lot of things in plain sight. It just happens to be this is what brought him to the forefront. I found 3 channels yesterday that specifically had Expat in the title, Expat News something and something, Expat News, and they're all new accounts. And that's what they have in there is a bunch of expat, like different things going on with expats. And it's like, we're talking about like, it would say something talking about like the visas. And so anyways, you guys are on YouTube.
Yeah, no,
But-
stereotypes. Yeah,
Yeah, now it's my turn. No, she's seems to be also a Spitfire. So
yeah, and I was also getting to that. One wife is enough to keep you busy. You don't need more than one.
they don't speak for George. No.
Unless, of course, you get the
Oh.
other ones go against each other, then it would be different.
Hey Ricky, I'm all woman. You only need one woman. I could always leave George.
There you
Just give me some sugar there, pretty.
go.
Give me some sugar.
No, I don't mess around with married women.
I'm not married.
What?
I'm not.
Sarah Tessa says, I love conspiracy theory.
Right.
Ransom has been offered. No takers. Mhm.
Oh, snap! I don't want that boy back.
Wow. That's not what she meant.
Oh.
But yes, Harry, how's dad? How's Pop?
Ransom has been offered.
But no takers. But I'm pretty sure that's not how she meant it. She's just saying,
I've been up since 4.
right.
I think that's what she meant.
Yes, Joseph Relaford is verifying again. An M16 round, it's a 5.62
Can you see his
millimeter.
wife?
Yes, versus
I need
the
my laundry
AK.
washer back, please. But you asked for 2,000 pesos. Let me think about that.
Oh, that's right.
Nope.
Vlogging Live saying, I think there's a B in Beastman. Correct.
Yes.
Yes, it's oddly enough.
Or you have to really look. Like if
Yeah.
you scroll to the bottom, you'll eventually get to stuff.
Yeah, I've always
There's a
wondered why there's a B because there's no B in his name. I'm guessing he did it for Mr. Beast. Like he's trying to get the Beast name in there.
There's another Eastman. If you look on Facebook, there are several Eastmen.
Right, but
So I think
why the letter
he
B?
had to put it in there in order to
I know
create
that,
it.
but why B? And my theory is because of Mr. Beast. Because it's the only logical thing I could come up with. He does have a B in his name, but his real name doesn't have a B in it. That's what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well,
Leonard
that's-
Whistler, I think he might be on See, that's the thing. According to the police, no.
Yeah, even this new article. I mean, they're even checking places where it said today. We just read that, but I don't know. You can trust and believe there's going to be another vlog. I mean, we'll be moving on from here 100% unless tomorrow or tonight they say something. Then we're going to be back on. But after that, we're moving on to. Looks like there's a couple. We're supposed to cover the Armstrong drama with all that thing going back and forth and check back into the marriage, the divorce law thing again. And then the other vlogger, Garcia, broke up, the Garcia family. And I think I just seen she started a channel. There was somebody named Garcia. Something Garcia is the name of the channel. It's the first video and her audio is off. So I can't hear anything she's saying. Like she must not realize it was really, really on super low. So it could be her starting a new channel, but he has a pretty decent channel. Guy living, I think he's in Zamboanga. He just said something about not taking the child with him to go do something with his immigration, I believe. But yes, they've actually looks like they've separated, and so it looks like he's got a lot to say about that too. So hey, I'm gonna move right down the line this week,
Speaking of Zamboanga, just real quick,
and then I'm gonna get some of those.
there was
Glasses.
a news regarding again what's going on the topic today,
Hmm.
and
Birthday cake.
the interesting thing is the newscast was in Chabacano, and I understood it only because I understand a little bit of Spanish. I understand enough to basically get by. Like, okay, if somebody's trying to sell me or trying to sell Heidi, I can get it. I get it. If I'm trying to buy something or get somewhere or do basic, conversation, I can communicate. I'm not good at it, but like it's kind of like me, Tarzan, you, Jane, kind of, Spanish, but
Hmm.
it gets us by. Um,
Okay, real quick. There is a difference between abduction and kidnapping, right? So, being as the recent newspapers are saying it's now an abduction, it does change it, right? Kidnapping means usually for money.
Kind of synonymous in my opinion.
So, the word kidnapping doesn't necessarily mean that.
Mm, Not necessarily.
Well, because the newspapers just said that it's not a case of kidnapping. And they went on. So, the reason I'm asking is NBC did say that it's a confirmed case.
Well, no, it's not for ransom, no.
So, what I'm wondering is, does that just mean NBC's wrong at this point?
Well, no, I mean, well, anyway, I'm not gonna go through that.
So, anyways, you got my point. I'm trying to.
Victor C, thanks for live streaming Philippine Antics. Thank you so much, Victor. Victoria says, "Good morning,
But,
Heidi,
I mean,
George, and those in the chat."
I don't think anything's really been confirmed until it's actually.
Sam Sag, that's a great
Done.
point. Sam Sag, how can they ask for ransom if there's no money? Now, see, Sam, the thing is, if it was a military faction, the ransom is not from the family. The ransom is from the United States.
Yeah, that's going to.
And that's why, again, from the get go, it didn't seem that type of abduction or kidnapping, as it were, because it would be a military faction that would have done it. You know what I'm saying?
That was a very short article, and that's the only one I've seen from NBC. It just said that it was a confirmed case of abduction. They didn't go through any of the details, nothing. That was kind of really.
David Z says, I say, could we never be boyfriend and girlfriend, but did not mean it? I say because I know he came to visit his friend, and he's not a real girl. She is transgender, but I did not mean it.
Gotcha.
Well, Mike Valdez, yes, I agree. If you got shot in the leg, unless you get immediate medical attention, and odds are you're not gonna make it. Correct. Yeah. If if the police believe he's alive and well, then that means they probably did bring him to medical attention, because I'm pretty sure again they have
Yeah, that was just
allegedly
announced
people
today.
in
That's the first
yeah
time.
allegedly
So.
they have people in custody, so they probably told him, well, we
And mind you, we've been saying this. So when he comes up alive, we just want to let you know we've always ended and always in between said we hope he's still alive. There is a good chance. Well, I'm not going to say there's a good chance. There's a chance he's alive. No one ever said that he was 100% down.
Oh, Venus 10, no, that's not what happened. Cebuco is one of the triple SB. Siocon, Sirawai, Cebuco, Baliguan, the four most dangerous municipalities in Mindanao. I'm surprised nobody told him not to go. Actually, a lot of people told him not to go there. He actually stated it himself several times.
Yeah, and here's another one. Today is the 26th. So yes, guys. So George was right. At 12:56 a.m., they did find, but this was in this area. But they keep finding, like we've seen where there've been multiple cases in the Philippines where these bodies keep washing up. And yes, they had found a fisherman in Bulacan, and they had found another one over there in that area. So very sad.
Yeah. Bobby G says,
That'd be a far way. That'd be a far stretch at that point.
"Oh yeah, yeah." George is Heidi's duck call. There you go.
Yes. I'm talking about doing it to Ricky too.
Oh, that's a good point. Samsag says, Heidi, get drunk before you eat balut. It makes sense. Yeah.
It does.
Okay, for those of you who it sounds like a good idea. Samsag will probably agree with me on this one too. Heidi, get drunk before you eat balut. Okay. For those of you who's like thinking that, okay, maybe I can eat balut. Let me drink first. Actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a horrible idea. And Samsag will agree with me on this. Because people who don't like balut or won't like the taste of balut, drinking makes it worse because you'll basically go after you eat that balut if you're not interested in it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Because it does happen to a lot of Filipinos. Because again, not all Filipinos eat balut, just so you guys know. Really, Tony? All right, Tony, my man. Tony says, I keep getting Victoria's Secret ads. My man, Tony.
How come you skipped over my storm stuff there with the
What storm stuff?
here, put it back up again.
Where?
Here. The
This?
yeah, because we'd shown the never mind, we'll leave it alone.
Oh.
Just have to replay that back.
Mateo says, I love the Philippines. I love Filipinos. This man could have had a great life.
If he'd been a little bit more educated. Here's the thing, guys. I honestly do not see the weapon listed. Okay, just in the newspapers. I haven't dug into anything deeper on Facebook, but all the regular newspapers under news,
Yeah.
nobody mentions the size of the gun.
Now, yeah, keep in mind we've read a lot of articles and
Yeah.
some of them are way off, so
Well, it's not these basic ones. I was trying to
no, I know
confirm
that. I know that, but you know,
that we've read a lot of
there's some real way off ones. Even the ages are way off, put it that way. You know, no, I mean they actually say his name and everything, but they get a lot of things wrong. And again, these are news and alleged news. But again,
That's a lot of news.
Bobby G says, "I'll trade your ads." There you go. Right.
What, you don't want to stare at Kamala?
Well, they could have combined them, Kamala and Victoria's Secret. But anyway, Bobby G says, "Hell, even the ANC News said it was Caucasian male. Honestly, thought it was him. I was blown away when I tuned in to hear it was not. Personally, I thought it was him."
A lot of people.
Yeah, that's what
think
Victoria
so.
says.
Nobody's. It did not take a genius or somebody that had all the information to say, "Wow, there was too much going on." There really was. The part about him being white was the least of where it was coming from. That was really, really, really white. Even the other bodies did not come up that white. They came up on the shore in that area. And I get the type of sea and the heat over there, and what was happening to the body and the sea salt and all of that. I get it. But, especially with the damage to the skull and the face, how much there was a lot going on, guys.
Yeah, Streak says the only question left is, who will star in the movie? It would probably be Keanu Reeves, because like somebody says, John Wick can survive after being shot in the leg.
I thought they would use the Bieber for that one.
Actually, it would make a very good lookalike.
Almost.
Yeah.
Or Britney Spears. They can just shave her head again.
Wow. Hate to say it, she will take that role.
Oh, you heard that she married herself, right?
Wait, what?
She's now in the news that she married herself, which means she
Yeah,
broke up. And I said, I married myself years
no,
ago.
that's just Brittany being Brittany.
Right? Speaking of being Brittany,
The TikToks aren't
you want to
doing
go
it
to
for
the
her.
chapel?
They're not.
Go into the
They're not. Don't
chapel.
do that. You're
Go
showing my
into
roots.
suck your duck.
Yeah.
You want to
Peter
go to the
Watt
chapel?
says hi from Vancouver, Canada.
Hey, what's going on? Okay. It's time. It's time to bring the babies in.
Sam Sack says, Elliot, go home. Phone home. Elliot.
He said it was
Phone
too
home.
soon for me to do that. I was going to put ET phone home on the front, and he said, don't you dare, woman. Didn't you? Don't you do it. But, sorry.
Yeah, Liam says Netflix agreed.
I mean, it was too soon, but that's one day I was sitting there and I was like, I wish Elliot would just come home. And I was like, where have I heard that Elliot? And I was like, oh, it was on ET. And he's like, yeah, don't do that.
What's that? Well, aw. Harry Walsh says his dad is doing okay. Good to hear that, Harry. But he's sad because the dog passed. Oh, so sorry. Yeah. So sorry to hear that. Victoria says, "Oops, forgot the thumbs up." Yeah, he's a little buddy. Yeah, I mean yeah, that's a heartbreaker to anybody. Yeah. Really? That's yeah, I don't know about that.
Is that what they spoke in that video?
In one of the videos.
The one
Not
that you
not the one. No,
translated?
no, no, no.
Okay, I
That's
was going to
Tagalog.
say, I was wondering why nobody's translated it so far.
No, I don't have a problem translating Chabacano, but um,
Your previous 18 girlfriends were Chivacano. He likes that dark meat, but evidently he needed something white and sweet.
yeah.
Admit it, Ricky. Hey, you need something as white as your glasses, right?
Right, true story. Paul Philippines says, "Good morning, guys from the UK. I returned to Negros in 3 weeks. Awesome, good to hear that. Yeah, in my opinion, says shot at close range with a 5.56. You need Doctor Fast for sure. Yeah,
It'd be a miracle. I'm telling you, it'd be a real miracle. It'd be a Christmas miracle. Maybe. Wait a minute. Where's the 8 ball?
yeah, that's exactly what we said, Victoria. We agree with you. All I can say is surely a tight-lipped mystery now. Very sad state of affairs. Mind-boggling for sure. Coverage, then nothing. Unlike in regards to the kickboxer Michael. Correct. Exactly. Right.
Can you reach over there for the 8 ball? Anyway,
I don't know where it is.
it's right there to the left by the camera. Because according to the 8, it actually did state it wasn't him. And I said, with the weather and everything, will he eventually be found? It said yes, but let's see. Let's see what
All
the
right.
8 says.
Hambone says my first balut was 21 days old. Nobody warned me about the hard white thing inside it.
Ooh, that is so scary. See when it does this right here, where it just points straight up? That's not good.
Yeah. There is a hard white thing inside the
I guess
balut.
I didn't
Correct.
ask the right question.
Now Filipinos
Elliot
call it bato, which means stone. It's not a stone, but can you eat it? Yes. I mean, you can dip it in salt and eat it. Sometimes I do eat the bato. Sometimes I don't because it's weird. Sometimes that stone, again, it's not a stone. Um, sometimes it's soft. Sometimes it's hard, hard as a rock. That's why they call it stone.
Maybe it's because I was concentrating.
Yeah.
I don't know. The 8 ball says he is alive. Are you messing with me, 8 ball, today? No, you got to be really specific when it comes to tarot and dealing with these devil tools and all of the whatever goes on. Because if you're not specific, like sometimes if there's multiple Elliots with the same name, you have to actually say in the Philippines living in that area. Because there could be There could be other people with his name. I mean, I'm always
Well,
shocked.
I'm sure there are other people with his name, of course.
Well, that's what I mean. So let's see.
Alex Bumban says, "Good morning. I had to wake up early today. What a horrible feeling, right?
Well,
Like
he
where you have to get up. Oh man, I have to get up
will
today,
he be home by Christmas?
right?" Bobby G, don't ask American government what happened. They'll they'll say Trump arranged the whole thing.
Oh, cannot predict right now. Maybe I should ask if he's going to be home for Ramadan.
Yeah. Oh, sorry to hear that.
Will he be home for
That's what
Ramadan?
Victoria says regarding the dog passing away.
Oh, that's not good. Cannot predict came up twice. Maybe I did. Maybe we should ask about Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah. Yes, Alex. Yeah, I used to be in Zamboanga when I was in the U.S. Navy and had no problem to understand someone spoke Chavacano group mix. For the most, again, like
Hey, Alex.
it's 90% of the words are similar. However, the problem, most likely the problem you'll face is the usage of the words. The thing about Hispanics when it comes to language, when Spanish is okay, first off, Chavacano is, I guess, a form of Spanish. Oh, I mean, in what I'm getting at is, again, you can talk to different races. They all speak Spanish, but it doesn't mean it's the same Spanish. That's why you always specify, like, if it's Castellano, which is the real Spanish language, versus the other offshoots. Again, for example, a good example is ahorita. Ahorita, depending on who you're talking to, what region they're from, ahorita means now, or ahorita means later. Same exact word, same exact spelling, same exact pronunciation. Different regions have a completely different meaning. Again, just an example. And that's what I'm getting at. Like Chavacano, there's a chance that you may still have a miscommunication even though you understand the words because they may be used in a different manner. Chris Monk says, "Good morning from foggy Tagaytay." Wow, yes, Tagaytay is foggy, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hey, Chris, good morning.
UV, first time here. Keep it up. Are you guys a couple? Yes, we are. Yes. So you have Orlando again. That's a good point. I just came from the Philippines, and it's a beautiful country. You have to remember to realize that everyone lives by different rules.
And they said the Filipinos do. I've heard other Asian countries, like through their vlogs and just through newspapers, saying that Filipinos is a different breed. But most countries are their own breed, like as far as how things operate.
Well, it's a different culture. You have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's the thing again. Don't forget where you're at. I mean, if your culture, is not here, and don't expect them to identify your culture either. You have to respect. It doesn't matter whether it's Philippines or not, wherever country you're in, respect their culture. For example, one again, like something so simple. This is very simple, guys. Again, removing your shoes when you enter somebody's house. And to some of you, it's not a big deal. Like, okay, what's the big deal?
Yeah, it's just not an Islamic thing or a religion thing. A
Right.
lot of Asians.
But what happens is, I've heard Filipinos, oh my gosh, they didn't take off their shoes. You know I don't know where they've been. I don't know if they were in the wet market. I don't know if they were in a cemetery, and then they traipse in my house with their shoes on.
Where? The cemetery.
Cemetery. Yeah, I don't know why I always mispronounce that word. Yeah. But anyway.
It's cute when you say
Yeah.
it.
But the point being is, again, you have to respect the culture, Now, there's times that when you start to take off your shoes, they say, "Oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't take them off." That's different. But by default, always take off your shoes in somebody's house.
Yeah, a lot of the Asian cultures.
Oh well, that's another problem you'll face here too. Because like Lou's saying is, remember, people tend to mix the language. It's like I always say, for the most part, Filipinos say Tagpanglish. You know, they speak Tagalog, Spanish, and English and jumble it up. And honestly, most of the time, most of Filipinos can't even discern or know if that word is the origin, what the origin is, that kind of deal. They don't know the etymology of the word. So what I'm saying is, if they don't know the etymology of the word, to them they're speaking normal, even though they're not. Um, Engelversaz says,
Kung Balu, Mi, Lutu, Eng, Dobong, Emma,
okay,
Alabasong.
so okay, now Engelversaz says, kung bala may luto in adobong ema, alimasag. Okay, if you know how to cook adobong crab, okay, that's what he says. Same process as to the crab with balut, the shell. Oh, so you take it out of the shell. See, that's what I mean. I really don't know. So basically, he's saying if you know how to cook adobong crab, same thing. Just crack
Oh,
open the.
the definition of balut doesn't necessarily say it's duck egg.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Balut is the fertilized, developing egg embryo that is boiled and steamed in its shell.
Yeah.
It didn't say duck egg, so I can eat.
Well, good luck on that.
What? Well, it's got to be fertilized.
Yeah, because otherwise it'd be just a boiled egg.
I can't. Okay, so if it's a quail egg, then I get the quail to screw the egg first and then boil it, and then it's proven that it's. Or can I just write balut or have it tattooed? Take it up the street and have it tattooed balut across it? Something. How
Okay.
can I? How far can we go with this?
Well, I wouldn't say tattoo it. All you get is a marker and hit it with a line.
Do a B on there.
No, they just usually hit it with a line so they can discern what's a panoy and what's a balut. Balut again.
Okay.
Anyway, panoy is the one without the duckling
How
inside.
about I just get you to fertilize?
What kind of balut is this?
It's George.
Wow.
It said it had to be fertilized. I don't care who fertilizes. I'm trying to get out of this. Can it be a candy? Maybe they got some candy balloons.
Yeah, Rolando says, yeah, that applies to a lot of Asian cultures, removing shoes, especially Japan. Yes, correct. Actually,
Can I? Is it too early to blame?
there's
him?
a lot of places in the Philippines where they're similar to Japan, where they don't use chairs. You know, they use, they have
Hey,
little
Brent.
short table and they use mats and stuff like that. There's a lot of places in the Philippines like that too. Samsak says Filipinos are tribal in nature. They are superficially nice to. I guess he meant foreigners. Really, if that's what you meant.
Snap. And just like that, I got out of it.
No. Of course, not a full-on convo. Yeah, but I was able to communicate with theirs versus someone who only spoke English, more time spent down there, easier. Yeah, it's kind of like I said, it's like me Tarzan, you Jane kind of conversation where it's not smooth, but you can, you understand each other. You know what I'm saying?
I got you all covered right here.
Right.
I'm gonna probably by next week. I'm gonna do the deed, and I'm not even gonna show you. I'm gonna do you too.
Okay.
And that trike dragger outside. I'm gonna call it cabot on rabbit on cabot.
Yeah, Alex Bamban says Filipinos have Tanglish, Latinos have Spanglish. Right, correct. Well, that's why. But I said Tagpanglish is because there's a lot of Filipinos don't realize that the word they're using is actually Spanish, but there's an actual Philippine translation for that word. That kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Angelo says respect Filipino culture before becoming one, then you can be. That's one thing I do like about Kulas is again he does try to learn. I mean, he knows more languages than I do, Philippine languages than I do. I have to give him credit for that, and he knows more different subcultures in the Philippines than I do. Again, I only know the basics. Um, hey, Brent's World. Hello, George and Heidi. Beautiful day in Badok. How you doing, Brent? Sweet Magic Poison says quail egg is tukneneng balut. Sorry. Is what George say. It's different from Panoy.
I'm working on that right now.
Sarah Tyson says, don't they sell pickled eggs in a jar
That's
in bars like hard boiled eggs in the States? Yes, they do. Makes people need a drink to wash them down. Okay, to wash them down. No, no, no. They do. They do. They do.
dang you.
I haven't seen that in a while though. They used to be you go to Sari stores and they have those. But now I don't see them anymore. But I know they exist. I'm sure they exist somewhere still. The old ways are, it's hard to get to.
I've been really like craving. My mom used to do the eggs and then the beets and the onions.
What the hell is
and
that?
Exactly what it looks like, and it says it here. You see it? What it says? Hold on, ready?
Well, don't read it.
See? And boom!
Oh, you gotta get those.
I can't. They won't deliver it here.
What do you mean they won't deliver it?
Probably down in Zambon.
I want one.
I know you do, but I can't get it. Them blow up dolls aren't easy to ship. They'll melt before they get here, man.
Man.
You never right? I was about ready to get out, wasn't I?
Wah, wah, wah.
What? No boing juice?
Right.
I can go get you some boing boing.
Right.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, Alex Bobon says that's true. I've told many Filipinos that a particular word was in Spanish and they said they had no idea. No, no, no. Again, a lot. Even I question certain words, and I don't mean like question as in, does that mean no? It's more like, what was the original word? You know what I'm saying? That kind of deal. And I would talk to different Filipinos and see if somebody knows it. For example, the couch thing. Um, the couch. A lot of Filipinos don't know the word for couch, and somebody did give me the proper answer for. But the most common word is bangko, which is not couch, by the way. That means chair. The word that I think is the closest and most accurate was kuchon. Kuchon is actually is the most appropriate word I've discovered so far. Okay, but for the most part, everybody said in my opinion, and I know it's not the right word, is bangko. Anyway. Um. Engelbert says, ever try? Just. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm pretty sure
Come on,
Heidi's not gonna agree to this. Just me.
I just want to let y'all know, ain't not one of you all,
Just me. Yeah, go ahead.
and not one of y'all gonna stand here so I can slap you upside the head and dust
Well-
your bunnies. But
Well, what I'm about to say again, Heidi's gonna say no right away.
Sure, why not?
Just me reading this comment,
Oh.
okay? Engelbert Salas says, have her try ebon baguk.
oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Baguk. Baguk.
Baguk.
Wait a minute. That sounds familiar. The baguk.
If she's
part.
afraid of duck embryo, but the small though. Baguk. Baguk is that shrimp paste.
Good thing I didn't promise that.
What?
That's just, I don't know. But here's something else I wanted to cover. Did anybody see that Johnny Samala situation again?
Somali?
You know that he was arrested, okay, and he stayed a couple months in the Japanese jail.
Wait, did he get arrested again?
He's out, and he's been still going around Asia. He just got arrested in Korea.
Oh my gosh.
He actually
Some
was
just never
sitting,
learn.
listen, and I want to cover this because it just came out. He was seated in a 7-Eleven and he's slinging noodles all over their glass windows. He's throwing them at customers as they're walking by. The woman came around the corner to say something to him, and he cussed her out, literally cussed her out, and told her to get away. It was horrible. And then he got a whole big bag of fish that was raw from the market, and he walked everywhere with it outside. Like, he let it drip inside of somebody's car, and he thought it was hilarious while he's doing his live stream. He had it for hours and was walking all over the streets, and the police finally stopped him and said, you're dripping it everywhere. And he goes, "Why are you following me?" And he's screaming at the Korean police, George. He also messed up and started messing with some other guy. He had the camera in his face, and he took it from him. And he acted all big and bold and got all up in his face and was like, talking a lot of smack, but wasn't going to do anything. And the guy threw the phone at him, but he got arrested. And so I just couldn't believe it. That it makes you wonder, is he really just that bad, or is he doing it for views?
Well,
If it's really like,
he's doing it for infamy. Sweet Magic Poison. It says pickled eggs are called itlog maalat, salted eggs. And sometimes they call it century eggs. Yeah. Actually, it's easy to make pickled eggs, guys. All you have to do really is make a brine, and then you put hard-boiled eggs in, and that's it. And you just let them sit there, and they turn into salted eggs.
that was really cute.
It's Victoria. It's possible we need to buy new leads. Heidi sounds like a scratchy sound coming from your microphone. Loose lead. I think we need new ones. We
The
do.
black cords.
No, it's probably the white one. You probably need to replace the white one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was saying, and you think it's though because I moved it and there's a bunch of other on top of there today?
What was it?
Okay.
What? There it is. Yeah, there's that Johnny Notorious. He got. Yeah, no, for sure it's for viewers. That's what he's saying. Tony Mang says he was disrespecting the statues of the Comfort Girl.
Oh yeah, that's
Not Bagok. Bugok. Bugok.
right.
Sorry, Did I misread that? I probably did.
No,
Bugok. Yeah, no, he's talking
he
about
did.
Robin.
He was doing weird things to statues. I just couldn't believe it, and I'm like, nobody can be that bad, And we've had people say that all me popping off was staged and all that, and all the things we say is staged. Maybe, maybe not, maybe. But this guy has to absolutely. I mean,
Oh no, did he really? He put baby oil in one of the
yes.
statues? Genie cricket.
Yes, babe. And like I said, inside the 7-Eleven, he told her to take her. He called her like funky ass or something. Told her to scat, and I'm like, really? That's somebody's mother and stuff. And he was slinging food all over the place inside of a 7-Eleven, and it's like. But here's the thing: don't you think that he learned a serious lesson after 3 months in a
Obviously not.
Chinese or in a not
Japanese
Chinese, in
holding cell?
Japanese?
Yeah,
Maybe they were super nice to him there,
it's
Maybe
possible.
maybe it was like heaven in there. Maybe said, I was waiting to go to heaven, and it was the Japanese prison system. Maybe it was like, maybe they let him sleep on a cloud, and they were just, who knows?
Yeah, Tony
No.
Man says he also got hit by
They
Okay.
won't. That won't ship. But
yeah. Engelbert again. Sorry, I misread that. I thought I read Bagok. He says Bugok, rotten. Yeah. No, don't do that. That's horrible. Jiminy crickets. Nothing worse than rotten egg.
No, they won't ship.
Why?
Neither company. It must be far out.
Then why
There
do
was
they
something
have it
special.
there?
Because I guess you have to be in a certain area, I guess. It probably will melt. I'm serious about the melting part. It's a melting item. Anyways, I'm still gonna get out of this. Watch. I'm gonna go pay somebody today to create one out of donuts. Watch. Watch. I'm gonna pay like 2,000 pesos for it too. I'm gonna say I just need you to create me one cupcake. I bet somebody does. I'm
It's
gonna get
not
on them.
that bad.
No.
It's really not. It's actually really good.
Am I allowed to eat the durian inside there at the same time?
Oh, don't do that. That will taste horrible.
I'm trying to get it over with.
Well, durian's not that bad either. I love durian.
Okay, well then you eat it
Durian,
for me.
durian is a lot like prunes. It's like I love prunes too, but I don't eat a. You can't eat a lot of them. You'll be hugging the toilet. Well, your other side will be hugging the toilet. You'll have the big D, and I'm not talking about that kind of
the
D
big
either.
D.
Yeah,
That's not. How about you wear that?
you'll have the big. Yeah, no, too much durian is bad.
You
for
said that the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. You ain't dragging me into no 3 or 4 hour live. I bet
No. I'm just waiting for you to say your. Yeah, and again, thank you so much for
You dirty puppy.
you. Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah,
You dirty puppy. Thank you so much for your support.
much. And
Thanks so much for
For
Illinois.
annoying D, thank you.
Thanks
And
so much.
everybody else that's
Thanks so
joining
much,
us.
Ted, for being here with us. Sarah Tyson for being here with us.
Ah,
Victoria, of course.
Victoria.
Scott World. Yeah. Harry Walsh was
think-
with us today.
I don't think. Maybe I did hear from
Alex
Ross.
Bumban from Thailand is with us today. Yes. Oh, yes, there is. Oh, sorry. There is durian ice cream. Thank you, Sarah. Actually, yeah, there's durian candies, durian ice cream, right? Durian ice pops.
Oh, thank you, Ted.
Yeah. There's all you can eat durian. Yeah, Lou, Engelbert, Silent, Sweet Magic Poison. George, of course, was with us today.
And
Thanks so
everybody
much.
else we can't see too, because we
Yeah,
know.
thanks so much, Rolando.
You know, everybody
in my
else
opinion, yeah, thanks so much. I appreciate you guys' support, and thank you for being here, White Samurai too. We love you all. All right.
there. Yeah.
Until next time, guys. Anybody saying goodbye right now?
And I'm
Alright.
if
Okie dokies. Have a great weekend.
thank
Day.
you guys.
Enjoy. Stay safe.
We will
Thanks so much.
see you guys on Tuesday.
Oh, by the way, for those of you who are in Angel City, just so you guys know, MacArthur Highway is kind of blocked from the Astro Park area all the way almost to
Halloween event. I
yeah,
forgot
Halloween
what it
event.
is.
So the road is
I
closed,
forgot.
and then you have to take these Lord knows what detour. No, really.
Yeah, there
the-
is. Yeah.
There's detours, but yeah, good luck on that. So try to avoid traveling between the two cities, as it were, because Mabalacat, you have to cross through Balibago, aka the area where Walking Street is, and they blocked it off almost all the way to the school in, on MacArthur Highway. But anyway, yeah, night all, Harry Walsh, night all, and Harry. Good night, Sweet Magic Potion. Bye, guys. Love you.
See you guys later. Take care.